People that will point out all the errors of your ways or all the errors of a system, anything that's happening, they can find a problem with it. But not only can they not bring a solution, but if you bring a solution or an idea, they're going to reject it.
What's good, cousins, and welcome back again on another episode today. How are you all doing? I really hope you guys are doing great, and if you're joining for the very first time as well, thank you so much for being here today. There is this TikToker that has been going viral for the video that she made this video to kind of like ask our audience about boycotting, but the way she presented this video has landed her in a place I'm sure she does not want to be in, because right now I think she uploaded an apology video like yesterday or 2 days ago. So she made a video about boycotting and how if you really want to ride for humanity, like you have to ride for all. If you're boycotting Starbucks, then boycott McDonald's and boycott Shein and all other companies. Now it doesn't have to be Starbucks alone. And she feels like people boycotting Starbucks are inhuman because they need to know that once they boycott or stop patronizing them, there are people who will be jobless, and that is not good for humanity. Our whole video has been deleted. It is no longer on TikTok, but from the stitches I will start showing you guys, you're going to get the context of what exactly this lady said. She said it in a way like, oh, she's asking questions, but still kind of like telling people that boycotting really doesn't work and just go get whatever it is you want to get. Or maybe she wants to get the Starbucks and just tell people you don't have to starve yourself not taking Starbucks, because that is not going to end the war. I feel like the way she presented and delivered that message is actually the reason why it landed where it landed now. Let me just roll the clip so that you guys can get the full context of what is going on, and let me know what you think about it as well in the comment section.
You're still buying from them. So if you're gonna ride or die for humanity, go all the way. Don't just pick and choose. Don't have an iPhone. Don't shop at H&M. Don't shop at Shein. Don't shop at all these brands. But other than that, not buying your $5 drink at Starbucks is literally not going to stop the war, okay? It's making you feel better about yourself, let's be real.
I think most of us know one or two people that are very problem driven in their life. And those are people that will point out the problems and errors and flaws of anything without the possibility of bringing in a solution. People that will point out all the errors of your ways or all the errors of a system, anything that's happening, they can find a problem with it. But not only can they not bring a solution, but if you bring a solution or an idea, they're going to reject it. And I'm not saying that this girl is like that, but that's definitely the vibe she's giving. Like her video, although she's trying to make it seem realistic, it's not realistic. It's just pessimistic. Because when you sit down and think about it, after watching her video, you're less likely to do any small gesture to help Palestine, to help Congo, to help whoever you can. You just will sit down and say, okay, fuck it. Because like she said, if you're not willing to give up the entirety of your life to fight for humanity, then don't fight, because you're basically just wasting your time. You're being a coward. Whatever it is that's happening, you're just not doing it right. So sit down. And to address her point specifically would take so many videos, because I feel like she just jumbled a bunch of shit together just to show you just how unworthy the movement is, just how unworthy the trend of Free Palestine is, and it's just so stupid and we're wasting our time and nothing that we do is gonna help. Like, damn, hope doesn't live in your house. But anyways, it's 2023. We are living basically in America or Canada or Europe, wherever we are. We're living in countries that have systems made by people who don't like most of us. And these systems are not simple. They're very complex. Everything is connected to everything else. No, people cannot just give up their lives to go fight humanity, because they can't. Because something to understand is that as we're trying to fight the system is still going. If I, Christina, stop everything I'm doing and go fight for humanity, I can do that because I have no responsibilities. I have no children. Fuck my debt. I'm okay. I'm fine. I can give up everything and go across the world and fight. But majority of people cannot. Majority of people are not like you. They have children. They have shit attached to their name. And because we still haven't found a way to stop the system, we cannot just leave it, because someone's going to get hurt. And most likely that someone is their children, their relatives, their loved one. Try to understand that we're in the beginning of a change or of a movement. We're not even in the beginning of making a system that works for us. We're in the beginning of crushing a system that doesn't. And so shit's not all fine and dandy for people to just stop their lives and go out there and help. even though they might really want to. In order for us to defeat the system that's constantly crippling us down, like you said, we live in a shit economy. We can't do anything. My God, we're watching a genocide. These companies are money hungry. In order for us to combat that, we obviously have to create systems. We have to make organizations. It has to be something planned and thought about. But it's not yet because we haven't talked about it, which is why the trend is important. So yes, Free Palestine is a trend, and there's people that's probably not even aware, understanding, or they don't even care about what's going on, participating in it. That's true. But there's a lot more people that do care and that do have the information and that are basically spreading this narrative because it's going to find more people that care and more people with ideas and more people with thought. That's the whole process. We've created a system where trends matter. That's true. And maybe the system shouldn't be like that, but let's use it to our advantage. Trends matter, so let's make Free Palestine matter. At the end of the day, there are pros and cons to everything that we're doing. Like you brought up Black Lives Matter, how nobody talks about Black Lives Matter anymore. Nobody in your circle and on your platform talks about Black Lives Matter. Maybe you're not in the right circles. Maybe you're not seeing the right amount of people. And yes, because it's not a trend anymore, it's not easily accessible to you like it was when it was trending during the riots during COVID. And like, I feel like you're throwing stones in a glass house, right? Like, I'm not gonna assume that you've done anything or made any new researches since Black Lives Matter. I'm going to assume that you haven't. But like, that's expected. That's an error in the system. That's an error in our population. That's an error in how we communicate and how we care about each other. And the more we understand that, the more we can fix it. But when motherfuckers like you come online and just everything that we're doing is wrong, nobody should be helping out with anything, like give up anything or just stop, it's like, bro, just shut up. Just shut up. Like, respectfully, because these are not even concerns. You're just shitting on a whole movement.
Okay, people that are boycotting Starbucks, I have a genuine question for you.
What's up, guys? So you already know what time it is. I'm going to deconstruct this video. And spoiler alert, she was not genuine. She was actually as bad faith as it gets. But I'm gonna pretend like she was genuine.
So by boycotting Starbucks and shutting these stores down because people are saying that there's stores shutting down countrywide and worldwide, whatever, are these people losing their jobs?
So this is the first main point that she makes. Now, I'll be fully transparent. She does say a little bit more, but most of it is just the same point resaid, so I didn't feel like I needed to show it. So number one, Starbucks absolutely has the money to pay its workers. Not only pay them better than what they are paying them, but also continue to pay them an adequate wage if they lose sales. The problem is corporations mainly care about profit, specifically maximizing their profit. Most multi-million and multi-billion dollar corporations don't care about their employees. Number two, because of this, Starbucks workers are actively striking. A couple of the reasons that they're striking is because of inadequate scheduling, too high of a demand on mobile orders on promotional and high volume days, and because Starbucks increased wages for non-union workers, which, mind you, is illegal. The chain is literally facing hundreds of unfair labor practice charges.
Second of all, do you think Starbucks gives a fuck about a couple stores closing down? No.
So a couple of stores closing down? Not necessarily. But that's why it's important to start affecting a business's bottom line. And a business's bottom line is basically their net profit after deducting expenses from their revenue. Because if you start affecting their bottom line, that's when they start caring. Which is why we need more and more people on board.
And they're still going to make their money. And when this trend dies down, they're still going to be a multi-million-dollar company.
To me, it seems very telling that you call this a trend. And to me, it just shows that you just don't really understand how boycotts work. And I also think the fact that you call it a trend is also a bit of a projection.
And I say trend because this war has been going on 4 decades. You didn't care about it 3 years ago.
Like you already brought up, a lot of us didn't know about it 3 years ago. And that's because the West propaganda machine is still incredibly strong. I think that it is losing its power, especially as social media gets bigger. But for a lot of us, this was the first time that we'd heard anything about this. This was the first time that many people felt okay to speak up. And I think it's a weird hill to die on to say, oh, well, you weren't talking about it 3 years ago, so why are you talking about it now? You want me to ignore something just because I didn't know about it sooner? Now, my basic understanding of this point is you're talking about like performative activism. And maybe not everyone will necessarily agree with me here, but I would rather everyone be posting about this genocide happening in front of our very eyes, even if some of it is performative, as opposed to ignoring it. All of the ICU patients in the Al-Shifa hospital literally died because of lack of fuel. 45% of Gaza's homes are destroyed. 4,500 children are dead. Why would I not want everyone talking about that?
You want to feel like you're a good human being, right? What about the BLM movement you were posting about 3-4 years ago?
So to an extent, I do understand what you're saying in this clip. Yes, I do people think that just protesting for a short period of time will enact real change. And that's typically because they're uneducated about how nonviolence works. I do believe that people need to mobilize more and get in touch with grassroots organizations so that we can ensure that the momentum keeps going for actual tangible change. But again, I feel like the call is coming from inside of the house because maybe you stopped talking about it. Maybe you're not involved with local organizations. Maybe it was just a trend to you. you. But for the people it does affect, we haven't stopped talking about it.
The same people that are boycotting Starbucks are the same people that shop at child labor supporting companies, right? Like Shein, H&M.
Your next point is going to touch on like ethical consumption under capitalism. And to some extent, I don't think there's any ethical consumption under capitalism. But we can try to be more sustainable. We can try to be more ethical, especially as we learn more. I don't shop at H&M or Shein. I thrift a lot of my clothes. I don't intend on getting a new phone until Colton is sourced ethically. But again, if we can actually mobilize and boycott these companies, we can absolutely force them to be more ethical. The other option is just to continue to shop at these companies and not care, which I don't know, again, that's such a weird hill to die on for me.
But other than that, not buying your $5 drink at Starbucks is literally not going to stop the war.
Okay, so maybe you just have a fundamental misunderstanding of why we're boycotting Starbucks, because nobody is boycotting Starbucks to stop the war. Again, Starbucks workers themselves are striking. And not even because of the massacre going on in Gaza, but because of Starbucks' own internal practices. I would very much encourage you to go look into boycotts and striking historically. And once you've read a thing or two, come back and tell me what you've learned. And if you're not willing to do the work, then stick to your little chaotic get ready with me's. And stop trying to take a neutral stance or play devil's advocate. Because all you've really done is A, get on the internet and look uneducated, and B, do the exact same thing you're accusing other people of doing. This is just performative activism for Starbucks baristas because you didn't care about them a month ago. You just wanted to get on the internet and appear morally superior.
Okay, people that are boycotting Starbucks, I have a genuine question for you. Please don't cancel me. Genuine question. So by boycotting Starbucks and shutting these stores down because people are saying that there's stores shutting down countrywide and worldwide, whatever, are these people losing their jobs? By boycotting Starbucks and shutting down these stores, are you destroying these people's lives because they're probably living paycheck to paycheck? It's so hard to live in this economy with these prices, and it's hard to find a job. And now they don't have one. That's not caring about humanity. Second of all, do you think Starbucks gives a fuck about a couple stores closing down? No. They are a multi-million-dollar company, and they are still going to make their money. And when this trend dies down, they're still going to be a multi-million-dollar company.
So let's talk about the biggest thing I want to point out at the end of the clip. She states that when this trend dies down, that like everything is essentially going to go back to normal. And once again, this is incredibly telling about what white tea activism looks like. You guys are willing to call everything a trend because to you, it is a trend. That is what it is. To you, it is something that you can just post little black squares about and use little watermelon filters and talk about how you're going to boycott Starbucks, but then go back there in like a week. It is a trend to you. But for many people who are fighting for not only workers' rights and class consciousness and class solidarity, this has never been a trend. You guys are telling on yourselves, though. The number one problem that we continue to face in this country is because people like this girl view everything as something that is just cute. It's just a cute little thing that people are doing, and not that people are actively fighting for their rights. Not only that, but let me show you what Starbucks workers at a location are actively doing today in what they are calling the Red Cup Rebellion.
First store to be unionized in Colorado.
So not only are people, everyday people, calling for a boycotting and a strike against Starbucks, but Starbucks employees themselves are also asking for it. And now don't get me wrong, not every single Starbucks location is unionized, and that is a problem because it makes it difficult for people in non-unionized Starbucks to get the rights that they deserve. But the issue in that being that we have to fight for the rights of Starbucks workers so that they can become unionized, so that they can have the control that they need over these corporations. It's honestly incredibly disheartening. And not only that, but it just goes to show that most of you have no morals when it comes to literally anything. You will get online to try to discredit people when people who work within Starbucks themselves are asking for people to boycott. The other thing here is that people are currently losing their jobs. There are Starbucks employees, former Starbucks employees, who have lost their jobs speaking out against what Starbucks is doing. You guys want to try to make it seem like you care about the overall solidarity and people losing their jobs when you don't. I use the statistic at least once a day. 60 to 64% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck as we currently speak. You guys don't care to bring up those people, though, who are currently struggling to get by from paycheck to paycheck. There have been mass layoffs at a bunch of tech companies in the last couple of weeks, and none of you care to speak on it. But because you think things are trends, because you look out and see that your favorite Starbucks doesn't have employees anymore because it's been shut down, that's when you get online and start to complain. You don't care that those workers are losing their jobs. You just care that you're not going to be able to get your Starbucks order today. And that's a problem. The amount of you who are going to try to co-opt this and try to say, but what about the workers, when the workers, again, themselves are asking for people to boycott, is incredibly telling. There are people right now who are currently losing their jobs and have lost their jobs because they have decided to stand up for Palestine, because they have decided to stand up for Congo, because they have in the past or presently have stood up for Black Lives Matter, because they have stood up against the atrocities that are being committed by these major corporations all over the world. And you guys don't speak about those people. But when it has the ability to impact you or people around you on a day-to-day basis in a way in which that you are not comfortable with, that's when you guys get online to say shit like this. I promise you, I know for a fact, I'm gonna go through that girl's account right now, and there will have not been a single video about worker solidarity or any of the strikes that are happening or anything like that. But she will stick her neck out for a multi-million-dollar company like Starbucks that has literally tried to destroy multiple locations because its workers have tried to stand up for their rights. You people are not only unserious, but you are incredibly dangerous in a growing movement where people all over the country, whether or not it be nurses, it be doctors, whether or not it's flight attendants, whether or not it's teachers, whether or not it's Starbucks employees, whether or not it's people within the automaker industry, whether or not it's writers and actors, are all demanding more rights. You guys still choose to be on the wrong side and try to demonize workers' movements. And that is a problem.
What do you guys think about the question this lady asked that literally brought her to this point? Like I said, she made a video apologizing as a Christian living in America, something like that. That was literally what she said. And I just want to hear what you guys think about the question she asked. And she's saying, oh, boycotting Starbucks is going to make so many of their workers jobless, and that is not humanity. And I would say that if you know people are coming together for a movement that is very important, fighting for people who are losing their life every single day at a place, and you feel like you can sit on the media to say stuff like this, I feel like that's a bit insensitive. People are coming together because of what is going on. If she says the people working at Starbucks are losing their job, is she now saying that people should continue to fund them, to continue to fund this company? Because in her video, a lot of people said she's just somebody who wants to take Starbucks and just looking for one or two things to say, like she's looking for people to be on her side. Like, if you want to go get Starbucks, go get the Starbucks. Like, we already know where you stand on this, and we already know that you do not care. If you want to go get Starbucks, go get Starbucks. Another thing that I feel like her video was giving was that video was giving like your voice don't matter. Even if you like, boycott this, don't buy from this, don't shop at Shein, don't shop at H&M, boycott McDonald's, it still doesn't matter. Like she said in her video, a $5 Starbucks you buy is not going to stop the war. So she was indirectly telling people that no matter the effort you put into saving humanity, it still doesn't make sense, and you need to find better things to do. And on every levels, I feel like it's wrong. Even though there's a movement to boycott these top brands that has been supporting genocide, I still say that there are people going there to shop. There was a creator saying every time she passes through Starbucks or a Starbucks shop, he sees people there going in and out, just going about their day, buying their coffee. If you know there's a strong movement like that going on TikTok, I feel like coming on there to be that insensitive is literally crazy. And if you've seen a video and you feel like your voice does not matter, I want you to know that your voice matters. No matter the little effort that people are taking to help humanity, I want you to know that your voice matters. Because the little effort you are even putting in, or the effort you're putting in that these people are seeing as little effort that is not going to make a difference, is better than not doing anything. And it's so funny because in our comment section, there were people in our comment section as well saying, oh, I'm about to go get Starbucks. You guys already know the people who are going to be flooding the comment section. There were people in our comment section saying, I'm about to go get Starbucks for boycotting and stuff like that. I know by now she should have seen for herself the type of movement that she is trying to gather under her own comment section, because that is the only reason why she could come back and start making video and start apologizing as a fellow Christian woman in America, because that was what she said. I have a comment here that says none of these products are that good that you can't live without them. Like you said, just go get the drink. You obviously do not care. If you know you want to go get it. Don't come on TikTok to come form a movement that is not making sense, knowing fully well that the fight that people are fighting is the fight for their brothers and sisters who are literally being killed every single day. This second person said, I think people losing their job is a big problem. Agreed. But the solution isn't to keep funding this company. It is to support the workers. Exactly. If she says people are losing their job because you don't want your people to lose your job, then you have to continue to fund this organization. In order for a movement to be successful, there's going to be a little bit of income. And this is the truth that I feel like she needs to come to terms with. I would like to hear what you guys think about the question she had. You guys can clearly see that this teacher said she was not genuine, though she presented it like she was genuine. She wasn't genuine. I would like to hear what you guys think about the question she asked and what you think about what this teacher made as well. Thank you so much for joining, and if you have not subscribed, please do so before you go and turn your bell notification on as well. And I am going to see you guys in the next one. Bye, and I love you guys.